to this issue of goonism?
What that does extensively is still whipping their political arithmetic, but they are within their democratic right. Whether it helps them politically, whether it helps, at the end of the day, it's within their democratic right. Everything you've listed there, I don't see anything illegal. So yes, whether I agree or not is neither here nor there. The law okays them to do that. But what I see as a person is that it will win more political expediency than necessarily things that are tangible. Tangible things must be actually be able to be done by the people that we have given.
My concern now is that this level of violence will cascade down to other contests, including MCA contests, which are homogeneous.
Allow
me to ask the question.
Yeah.
That other contests that are not necessarily at the national level, it's not a Linda Mwananchi pro-government, even within UDA zones or within DCP zones, that aspirants and candidates will find the necessity to have a group of, they'll call them personal security, and that could end up in violence at all levels. Do you see that risk?
I have just given you the example, Fred, of people who are not running for president, who have been attacked. And this is not just at the top level. The reason why you would see the thing that what happened to Linda Mwananchi is because it's a big outfit. It is more or less going for the presidential seat, though they have not said so. And so the cameras are on them. But I can assure you, Fred, that so many people are actually suffering down there, running for the small seats, even the MCA seats, and they are facing the same kind of intolerance. This intolerance does not just start and end at the top. And actually, the most affected person, when the country puts, when this kind of violence in politics is high, the most endangered person is the young candidate. Because a young candidate, first of all, has no money to be able to start with security as a budget line. And that's why I am very icked when we keep pushing this conversation as though it is a he say, she said. I think one of the best places I've attended a political meeting, Fred, I attended a funeral somewhere in Meru. And one of the things that interested me in that funeral is that the sitting member of parliament was the one inviting all parliamentary aspirants to sell their agenda. As he stood there, they sold their agenda, finished, then he also sells his and goes. That is how it should be. Politics should be a contest of just ideas.
Both of these gentlemen are aspirants.
It should not be violent.
You're aspirants. And first, even before you contribute, do you find the necessity, as you continue your campaigns, to have your own personal security for self-defense in case anything happens?
Let me tell you, for Langata, it's very comfortable. Like I personally, I take care of myself, but whenever I'm going for any political events, I need security definitely, because even as we leave the event, sometimes you'll find that you're being followed by these goons and they don't want you to leave the event. So
you've made arrangements for your own security?
You have to, and sometimes I have to have a backup plan where if I'm not leaving here, I leave from this exit, because I know that so long as I'm going at a certain place, sometimes you'll find that existing.
What kind of nature of security is this? Is it police security? Is it
no, just
private bodyguards?
Just bodyguards to make sure that they can give you time to escape. Nothing with guns or crude weapons, no, unfortunately. I mean, like, we've not reached there yet, but we are going there. Based on what I saw on Sunday, these people were out to kill us, Fred. They hit women with pangas on the head. They butchered people. Let me tell you, people lost limbs. People were it was a really bad scene. I could see it all. I mean, like, I witnessed the finance bill protest, and I witnessed this. This was just different, to be honest. These guys were really out there to kill us. So, to be honest, this is something that it might be framed as a political whatever, but to be honest, we don't want to keep going that direction, We want to be free to meet with the Mwananchi. They were very happy to receive us, and throughout the way, people were waving and coming to the road and celebrating Linda Mwananchi. Then why should a few people be arranged to distract our event? We just want freedom to go and speak to Mwananchi. We don't want in fact, even raising this security fees is expensive, because even myself, like, instead of one guard, I'll have to have two, walking around with me, because now the political tension increases. We end up spending more for security. We'd rather not even go with any security, where we go and meet the people, because at the end of the day, they say that when the bulls are fighting, ni nyasi ndo inaumia, si ndio? Na ni wananchi ndo wanaumia. Na kusema kweli, hiyo ndo sisi tunasema, we're here to protect the Mwananchi, and we just want freedom and tolerance when it comes to politics. Let us go and speak to the Mwananchi. What are you afraid of so much that you don't want us to speak to the people of Homa Bay? You understand? So this is something that even the people of Homa Bay should ask themselves.
But even in Langata, you say as things continue, you may need to boost your security further.
No, I mean, it's definitely important because at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not worried, but when it comes to my family and my committee, everybody is like, you know, Omar, you need to protect yourself more because they're seeing this thing where all of a sudden people are trailing you and all this kind of thing.
What is the security arrangement for the MAMBA?
You know, we say security is secure. So for me, I know security is secure and security begins with us. But I would like to tell you this. We are having the wrong conversation. Why weren't we having these conversations around Kibaki time or Uhuru time? The biggest problem we have in this country is William Samoei Ruto. Full stop. He is the reason we are having these problems. Let us just face the truth. Because if the president says this madness stops now, it stops now. It won't go for 1 hour. So we are dealing with symptoms of a disease that is Shah here, I don't know what here, I don't know what here, goons here, insecurity here. Our problem is that we have a president who has allowed this to go on. And you people will say whatever you want to say. Trust you me. If William Ruto says this thing ends today, it ends today. If he says he's not going to allow this to happen, it's not going to happen. When Kibaki became president, we had a Mungiki menace. He told Michuki, bring this thing to an end. What we are seeing here is child's play compared to what Mungiki did. Walikuwa nakuja mpaka kwa Rurashio, wanasema pia wako na stake yao. Ukienda kumwaga mawe unataka kujenga, the Mungiki had their stake. Michuki woke up one day and he was told by Kibaki, we are ending this nonsense. And it came to an end. If the president decides that these small boys here who are disturbing us, that this nonsense will stop, it will stop. So our problem is not goons. We are just dealing with symptoms. Nobody wants to deal with the real cancer. Our problem is that we have a president who has allowed it to happen. But there's something I want to give as a rejoinder to what he said. He said that one day, at the DCP and Rigathi Gachagua stopped Linda Mwananchi from coming to Olkalau. And I want to make something very clear. First, I am a member of DCP and a founding member of Linda Mwananchi. And I attend Linda Mwananchi rallies. And I'll tell you this. The IEBC chair came about, I think, on a Wednesday or Thursday and said that there's a lot of violence going on in Olkalau. Remember, there was no violence other than the hooded men they had sent to us. And on Monday, I'm going to give an advice as to whether the by-election is going to go on or not. What had government done? They had planned violence. And that is why on Friday, our DCP track was attacked by those balaclava men, hooded men. And they wanted to cause violence so that people could die, so that they can call off the by-election in Monday to avert the shame that was going to come and befall them. Linda Mwananchi innocently planned to come on Sunday to Olkalau. Rigathi Gachagua told them, if you come on Sunday, please don't mention DCP. Don't even say you are supporting our candidate. Why? If you people, if Linda Mwananchi and one of them, if they had come to Olkalau on that day, what would have happened is what you saw happening yesterday or on Sunday in Homa Bay. Young men would have been sent with pangas and crude weapons. There would have been a bloodbath in Olkalau. And those men would have come with DCP branded uniform. And they would have done that. Then it would have been said the DCP candidate has been disqualified because of the violence that happened on Sunday. Rigathi Gachagua himself restrained himself from coming to campaign in Olkalau because they were waiting for the day when he's going to arrive there. And they send the young people again to kill people, and then it would have been cancelled. So we had that intel, and that's why Rigathi Gachagua told them, if Linda Mwananchi, you do come to Olkalau, do not mention DCP. Because once you mention DCP, as long as there's that association, they would have said the DCP candidate is the mother of this violence, and the by-election would have been cancelled. That needs to be very clear.
It's true.
They keep saying that Rigathi Gachagua is bullying other parties in the mountain. We told them, when you look at the Olkalau by-election, there were 9 parties on it. And all of them were allowed to campaign, and nobody fought nobody. So we want to say that we shall forget these diversionary tactics. At the end of the day the president says that the buck stops here, and that this nonsense ends now, believe you me, in an hour, it will be over.
All right.
If the president wanted these goons arrested now, trust you me, by lunchtime, all of them will be in a cell.
Right, the violence and goonism and the fear or anxiety of what this could turn into as we head closer to the 2027 general election. Serious concerns about pockets of violence that now have become widespread and normalized, that every political contest or rivalry has to be or has to turn violent. And that's a concern we have. This is a conversation that will definitely continue. It is there on most of the front pages. Goons, some of them being their images being revealed on the front pages, like this one here on the front page of the Standard, untouchable goon. I want us now to move